We got to stop talking about my sex life, man.
Sorry.
On pod.
Jake had a date this week. I thought we'd just lie to him.
Well, my bosses tried to give me life advice on my birthday. One of them sent me a message and said, "Happy birthday. Don't spend all your birthday money at once." Oh, I didn't think of that. For those listening at home, Marty's teasing this trip to Thailand. And last week we had a discussion of what was going to happen to the podcast.
And we're breaking up.
Quite literally. I've given quite a bit of thought to it. He's thought, what if we do like a Zoom thing? What if we do like this? What if you just like get a different guest on? First ever Jake and Marty's solo pod is coming. I'm going out camping that weekend.
Oh.
And you guys are going to get a podcast of me camping. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Might be just me rambling on about bugs.
You gotta write some pretty hardcore topics, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just like.
You can call in it. You can, if you give me some pre-warning, and I can devote a reasonable time slot. You can call in on me for like a segment or something. I'd be happy to join you for a segment from across the borders.
Segment called coming soon. First up, we got Chit Chat, which is off to an unbearably shit start. I'm shocked that we're even still doing this. I thought we were going to finish at 70 episodes, but here we are back again for 70.
I wonder if we'll make it past 100 episodes.
We did promise each other that we'd make it to 100 episodes, but originally I didn't think we were going to make it past like 3.
Yeah.
Like in the very beginning. But
when we got to 4, I still didn't think we'd make it past 3.
No, me neither.
Nah.
But then when I
We're
listened
fucking
to
pros
4,
at this, man. We got to stop talking ourselves down. We're sick at this. Everybody listening loves this shit.
You're knocking on it, and you thought, Jacob, where's your confidence gone? My confidence is still here. I listened to episode 4 when it came out, and I thought, this is so good. I love this. And then that's when I started telling my friends about it. Once episode 4 came out, and I thought, I could do this. This could be me. This could be my purpose.
This could be us. No. Love the podcast. Love the way it's going. All right. The Unbreakable. I spoke to you a little bit earlier about this, and I think that we will end up turning this into a video. But I wanted to name a few to get people, to sort of edge people into this video coming soon, possibly on the Jake and Marty YouTube channel, is I wanted to, hopefully, in the video, see how many world records we could break. And so I thought, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to... Shit, I was meant to actually do this on the pod, but I'm not going to now. I wanted to see how many... I have a few records here that I think I could break. But to see whether or not I'm being ridiculous, I want you to tell me how many... Like, I'm going to say the world record. Yeah. Like, it might be, how many lemons can you cut in half in the space of 30 seconds? And you're going to tell me how many you think I'm capable of. Yeah. And then I'm going to disclose what the world record currently is. And that way we will deduct whether or not I'm overestimating my abilities. Yeah. Okay, fair? Yeah. Because I think I could break all of these. Okay. And we may see. We may see in that video coming soon. So the first world record was most socks put on one foot in 30 seconds.
Do I guess what you could do?
Yeah, like give me how many socks do you reckon I could put on my foot within the space of 30 seconds?
1 foot? I reckon you could get 7.
This is not a great start because the world record's 28.
But I reckon... Knowing you'd put on like 3 pairs of socks, and then it would get like a bit thicker, and you'd go, "Oh, they're kind of getting tighter."
My feet. By the time you
get to the 7th one, you're like, I can hardly even get it on. You're like, because the first one you can get that on in like 30 milliseconds. Second one, you're going up to 45 milliseconds. Third one, it's starting to get a bit tighter. Now you're up to like 3 seconds a sock.
You reckon I'm taking 3 seconds a sock in the 4th sock? I'm gonna buy some really thin socks, and we're gonna do it.
Okay, but you have to start off with 1 pair of socks on because we're not releasing that to the public.
But can I count that to my score?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
But we'll deduct like 4 seconds. So
4 seconds.
You have to do it in like 26 seconds because you already got a pair of socks on.
Okay. Most selfies taken in 3 minutes.
Oh, do they have to be with other people or can they just be of yourself?
No, I think they can just be yourself.
What I reckon I could do? Probably like at least 4 because I just don't... Like, I reckon my arm will get sore. But for you,
My
I
question
reckon
with
you
this
could
is,
do...
am I allowed to use the burst feature? Because I
Yeah.
reckon I could do a hell of a lot. But I don't think you are.
No,
You meant to
so-
tap, 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 tap.
I reckon you could do 356.
There we go. Marty has broken a world record unofficially because the world record currently stands at 184, which seems drastically low. That's like 1 a second.
What, are you running out of storage every two photos?
No, I wouldn't have been able to do it a few weeks ago when I didn't have enough storage on my laptop to hold the audio. Next is fastest time to unravel toilet paper. So I got to unravel a whole roll of toilet paper in... How quick do you think I could do it?
I could do it in 5 seconds. You could do it in probably like 7.
We both broke a world record today because that's 9.8 seconds is currently the world record for that.
Here's what I'd do.
To be fair, I do think it was meant to be with one hand, but I don't know if that changed anything.
Oh, easy. I could do that easier with one hand.
Okay.
Okay.
If you could do it easier with one hand, why
Finger in the hole.
Wow, okay, here we go.
Well, do I start with a little bit out? A little bit.
Yeah, I don't think you have to rip
okay.
it.
Okay, cool. Dip that part in the aeroplane toilet on the finger.
Oh.
Blush.
Yes.
It's gone.
Yes.
It's gone.
Or, the way I would do it is I would do the finger thing as well,
Yeah.
and then I'd put the corner of the first bit in your mouth, and then I would throw a bottle of Raz just really far away, and then you'd be off like lightning.
What I'd do is I'd put it... What's the next one?
Fastest time to find and arrange...
Came to me. I would put it in one of my co-workers' back pockets. Do the finger thing. And then with my other hand, which is kind of cheating, but not really, I'd play the start of a Jake and Marty podcast. Done. They're gone.
Alright, the fastest time to arrange the alphabet from a can of alphabet spaghetti. How quickly do you reckon I could do that? To be fair, you're also not guaranteed to get all the letters, so it might be a bit of trial and error.
37 seconds you would take.
Mate, blitz through that world record because it's 3 minutes and 21 seconds is the current standing world record.
Kidding me.
Yeah, that was by one of the Dude Perfect guys as well.
That's stupid. What? How are you that bad?
Yeah. Dude
It's-
Perfect's
it's
more like
26.
dude. More like dude. It needs more practice.
Yeah, 26 letters. You just got to put them in a line.
Yeah, but they need to be the right letters in the right order.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
You just don't need to
L,
prove
M, N,
it.
O, P, Q, R, S.
T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Exactly. And we've got it.
Or Z, depending on how straight you are. Last one. Most Smarties eaten in 1 minute using a blindfold and chopsticks. By the way, I do know how to use chopsticks. I don't know how precise I would be with a blindfold.
Now,
and
with the
a
chopsticks, do you have to pick up the M&Ms? Because if I was playing this game, I'd put them all on the lawn, and then I'd hold the chopsticks, and I'd just
Well,
scoop 'em
I'd
up
put
with
them
my
all.
mouth.
I'd put them all in a bunch right on the edge of the table, and I'd get the chopstick and I'd just shovel them down the
Oh,
gullet.
that's better. I'd put them I'd put like 1 million in a newspaper, and then I'd hold the chopsticks in one hand. I'd pick the newspaper up from the corners
With the chopsticks.
and dip them all in.
See, they didn't put any limit on creativity. So how many do you think you could do in a minute?
I could do in a minute 700.
How many do you think I could do in a minute?
70?
20 is the current standing world record. Yeah, these people.
goodness.
How's that even a world record?
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky I haven't started. You're lucky I haven't started my Olympic debut, because otherwise you guys would be going down. You
Yeah.
know, get ready to take those paintings off the wall.
That was it.
Oh, that's all.
That was the second.
The second date update. I have been seeing on my TikTok heaps, like all weekend, like every second TikTok would be the second date update, and it's from this radio show in America, I think. They do a bunch of they do different segments. They do prank calls, all sorts of things. They also do this one. I think it's called the Brooke and Jubal Show. I think, yeah. They also do one called the Second Date Update. It's basically if you went on a date with someone, you really enjoyed it, and they weren't calling you back, you could send an email into Brooke and Jubal, and they would, with the other person's phone number, they would call the other person you went on a date with and try and figure out why aren't they calling you back? What they don't know, the other person you went on a date with, is that you're actually sitting on the other line listening to all of it, and then you get to interject, and it becomes just if you guys have ever watched UFC, it's imagine UFC, but the two fighters have slept together before, so they're way more feisty, and they're defending each side, but there's no fists being thrown, it's just words. Another way you could put that is it's just a heated argument most of the time. Anyway, this one particular guy came up that I wanted to bring up, and Marty actually brought it up while we were playing pool earlier, so it kind of spoiled the whole point.
That's all right. I haven't heard it.
But there's this one guy named Thomas, and he got a call, and he was like, "Oh, hi." Yeah. He just didn't seem very energetic. Anyway, they were like, "So why aren't you calling her back?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I had a good time on the date when it was just the dinner, but then she was like, oh, I want to go for a walk." And then we went for the walk, and then afterwards she was like, "I want to go to the movies." I'm like, "I just want to stay at home. I just want to sleep and stuff."
Yeah, he was complaining about the walk, saying, "Why did we invent cars so we didn't have to do that anymore?" Yeah. Then she took him to the grocery store, which, to be fair, I'm on Thomas's side there. If you take me to the grocery store to carry your groceries home after dinner and a walk, you're doing too much. But he lost me a bit when she was just requesting a second date to the movies, and he was like, "Wow, this is too much. Yeah. This is getting too full on." But he stuck to his guns. He didn't let the pressure crumble to him in the moment.
He didn't want to do anything. So,
matter of fact, he didn't even seem like he wanted to be on the radio show. He said, "Have I won anything?" And they were like, "No." And he's like, "How long is this going to take?"
Yeah. So he was an inspiration, but there was more. And there's been a few that have actually stuck out to me. One of them, the boy and girl went on a date. The girl ended up having to leave in an emergency because her cat got out or was missing or something. So anyway, he drove her or whatever. So he dropped her home, then went around the corner and was like, "Actually, I could help her find her cat." Hops out of his car, is looking, anyway, gets hit by a car. And he's in the hospital. Now, the girl has called into the radio show, gone "He's not replying to me. He's such an asshole. I want to know why." They get him on the phone, and he's drugged out of his mind. And they're like, "Why haven't you been calling her back?" And he's like, well, I don't know. And he's like, and then they're saying to him, "It's been 4 days, and she's just wondering, you haven't contacted her at all." And he's like, "Actually, it's been 6 days." And they're like, "So you've been keeping track of how long you haven't been calling her back for?" And then he said "No, I just got out of hospital." Anyway, actually a sweet ending. They end up going on a second date. Who knows how that went? Probably a train crash.
Another thing I want to say just before this segment winds up is, and this could very well go at the start of the episode, if you guys have anything, anyone you want us to call into with a bit of information on what you want us to call about, if you guys want to call in and tell a story, there's really no parameters around this. We want to hear from you. It's been too long. And so, whether this is an old episode or a new episode or the newest episode, the offer still stands. We have an Instagram account called the Jake and Marty. Look us up on Instagram, send us any message, any information, and you will very likely feature on this podcast, if that's what you're interested in. Yeah. We'd be really interested in hearing from you, even if you want to just message us some advice for what we could do in the future, an idea for a segment. We're open to everything. There's an open door policy of the Jake and Marty podcast, so we would really like to hear from you guys, if you're interested in that at all, anyone listening out there. So thanks.
And there was one more that stood out to me, and it was, so boy and girl went on a date. They ended up going back to her place to watch a movie or whatever. Anyway, he's been like, they're watching the movie, and then all of a sudden he gets up and, like, as described, he needed to poo really bad, and he just left. And so she was like wondering, like, did she do something wrong? What happened? Like, I want to know. And they called him up, and he was like, oh, well, she obviously didn't tell you what really happened. So they were watching this movie, and then her little dog, like probably like this big, Tupperware container sized, by the way, guys, for the listeners, had come up and started like humping his leg.
Oh.
And so he was like, oh, that's a bit weird, but like, it's a dog, so just like go away. Anyway, instead of her telling the dog to go away, she decided to say like, come here, and offered her leg up for the dog to harm.
Really?
And then dirty talked the dog.
Yuck.
To completion. And then after the dog completed the mission...
How do you sexy talk a dog? They can't understand what you're saying.
Oh, good
but what's
girl,
the point
good girl,
of...
That's good, yes. Yeah. Real weird. Then, like, got up and, like, licking her face and all that afterwards. And, like, going like, oh, I love you. And the dog...
Why is she dating?
And another thing is the dog... She swore the dog could say, like, I love you. So the dog would go... And so as she's saying, like, I love you, the dog's going... like, replying. And she's like, see, it says it's back. It says it's saying it's back. Anyway, so that guy just got up out of there.
Yeah.
And
good call.
Then this is one that really kicked off because they were on the phone. And she was throwing punches. She was like, you guys all hate dogs. Oh, you're the worst. You just wouldn't understand. There's been heaps where people are just like crazy and they get real defensive. One girl stopped seeing a guy because he drove an SUV and it meant he hated the environment. Another one, a girl stopped to take a photo of a baby on a date. And the guy was like, that's really weird. And then she was like, well, you guys all obviously hate babies and you're the worst. And you probably want everyone to die because you hate babies. And and I have a baby blog but I'm single and I don't have a baby, but I hate everyone. And you guys obviously hate babies. Yeah. So it can get quite heated. So if you guys want to, ticket to that train, just hop on this.
Yeah. No, go search them up.
Yeah.
But don't call into their show, call into ours.
Yes, we're way better.
We're way better. And we
also
love babies and
the
dogs,
guy...
but we don't dirty talk them or offer our legs for hump time because that's nuts.
And also one main feature of it, which you guys will definitely notice if you look it up, is the guy in the back isn't allowed to laugh at home. He's just constantly laughing so loudly in the back all the time. I watched a lot of these, and all the time you could just hear like kind of distant, like an uncle at a family gathering. He was like just sort of in terms of relation, like you got your close family and then you got like your extended family. He sits somewhere in the middle. He was sitting there in terms of microphone distance, just like pissing himself laughing at anything. Like, oh, I got hit by a car.
Oh, that'd be me if I was ever banished to the other side of the couch.
Yeah.
All right. That was the second date update, and this one we're doing take it with a grain of salt. But we might have to pause because I didn't download
where they originated from. Old phrases we still use today and where they originated from.
Try it.
During the Middle Ages in England, when we have one letter.
Okay, it looks like it's going to load for us. All right. So this segment's called Take It With a Grain of Salt. Quite a clever segment name because I stumbled upon a TikTok account as well this week that I was very interested in. It was a bunch of old phrases, and where they originated from was the sort of heading of these TikToks. I had a few question marks about how the origins of some of these catchphrases. So their catchphrases like take it with a grain of salt. That was one. That was actually one he gave me 2 origins for across a few different videos, which I thought was strange because I thought that would only have 1 origin. So take this with a grain of salt, but I thought they were interesting stories to how we got some phrases. So me and Jake are just you're gonna get educated today, Jake. Essentially, you need a bit more of that anyway.
Old phrases we still use today and where they originated from. During the Middle Ages in England, when a criminal was sentenced to death, they would be transported to Tyburn Hill for execution. On their way, they were allowed to stop at a country pub for one last drink. This last drink was for the road to death. Hence the reason today we say one for the road when we have one last drink before heading home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a similar story. A common saying is... What's a common saying?
Give me a ticket for that train.
So back in the dark ages, we used to, before we had trains, we would have we'd be in horse and cart, and anyway, you'd be in a horse and cart, and there'd be a person at every stop that would punch your ticket. Those people who stamped the ticket were actually called trainers, because as well as being ticket punchers, they also were training up their own soccer team that then all of them would come together at the end of the year and they'd play against each other in a round robin. And that's where we get the saying, get me a ticket for that train, because you give the ticket to that train.
All right, next one.
In the Wild West era, also known as the cowboy era,
love the cowboy era. My favorite era of Jake and Marty was the cowboy era.
Carriages were the main source of transport, especially for rich families. Due to this, these carriages became a target for cowboy outlaws. So the rich families would hire a gunman to sit passenger side on the journey to protect them along their way. That's why today we say shotgun when we want to sit passenger side of a vehicle.
No, I'm pretty sure shotgun came from George Ezra.
Yeah, I think he did.
I'm pretty sure he... Wait, give me a phrase. I want to play.
Okay.
No way you thought of that whole story, but you can't even think of a common phrase.
I don't say phrases. Okay.
Yes, you do. Get me a ticket for that train was a staple for you. I didn't know you knew the whole background of it, though. There's not much going on in there. You can tell.
Yeah, I don't know a phrase.
You think of one while we play the last one.
Okay.
In the times of ancient Rome, it was believed that a small amount of salt would protect them against poison. So if they were suspicious of potential poison in their food or drink, they would add a pinch of salt. This led to the well-known phrase, take it with a pinch of salt.
And so, essentially, let's take these phrases with a grain of salt. Or a pinch of salt. Because I don't know how true they are. There was another one that was in a separate video that I watched that I actually thought was in that video, which is funny, where he explained that the phrase, he's got a chip on his shoulder, came from England back in the industrial era, or maybe even the cowboy era. He really likes the cowboy era. Young boys who were looking to start a fight would walk around and physically put a chip on their shoulder. And so that would be an indication of, if you guys want to fuck with me, I'm ready. And so all you'd have to do is knock the chip off their shoulder and it would be put the paws up.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the most bogus story I've ever heard. So you're telling me all these people that are just pissed off are walking around trying to balance a chip on their shoulder all day, just in case, just waiting, just yearning for someone to come off and just tap it off. Because then they get to dice.
Sorry. Wait. There's a party right now? On Skibbity? Wait. Sigma loads of Gaiats? Wait. I'm gonna need to pull out my Why So Serious Riz for this one. I'll be like, you want to know how I got these looks, Max? Not Ohio. Am I edging right now? Don't even let me show up with 5 whoppers and 5 more whoppers. Major goon lol. Anyways, I'll live you done you later, skater.
Didn't even do it right. Did not even do it right.
So that's a popular trend that's been going around.
That's not a popular trend. That's a popular trend you butchered.
Pretend to be on a phone call with your best friend. in front of your son or daughter, and they get really embarrassed because it's Gen Z brain rot, Riz. And Marty just got so embarrassed right then because he knew that I knew all this.
No,
brain
it's not
rot
about
stuff.
getting them embarrassed. The phone call trend is about getting people excited. You got to say things that you know will... Like, I'll do it next time
Okay.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Oh, sorry. I would never usually do this on a podcast. I know it's unprofessional, but this is a very important phone call. Oh, hello. I didn't know it was you, Jenna Ortega. What? You want to sit down on a couch with me and ramble about nonsense for an hour? I don't know. Oh, there'll be trees there? Oh, wow.
Okay,
Wait, there'll be TikTok Skibbity Riz party?
Okay, wait. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
I'm getting a phone call. Hi, sorry, wait. Who is this? Wait, really? Tate McRae, Jenna Ortega, Zoe Kravitz, and Gracie Abrams. You guys are all there and you want to meet me? Wait, no way. So wait, what do you guys want to do?
No, this isn't just you living out of fantasy. Dude, let me come.
What do you guys want to do?
Come.
Oh no, I can't say that out loud. That's way too inappropriate, ladies. That's way too inappropriate. Oh my goodness.
Wait, I'm getting a phone call.
Wait, can I bring Marty? Okay, wait, I'll just quiet down. I'll just pretend like I wasn't even on the phone. I'll pretend like it was a fake phone call the whole time, and he'll have no idea. He'll think he'll go like, oh my goodness, Jacob, that was so funny. But really, you guys just what time are you guys free? Oh my goodness, we got the whole night. We got from 8 p.m. till 12. How much is that going to cost me? Let's be real, girls. Wait. He's giving me weird looks. He's telling me to stop pretending. So I'm going to stop pretending right now. But at the usual spot, the chemical shed.
Chemical shed after midnight. No, that was. Oh, actually, I'm getting a phone call.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, I'm getting a phone call right now. Oh. It's a cat. They're gonna have to put it down.
My cat.
$2 Whoppers at Hungry Jack's.
What? Whoppers! You watching, Jenna? Because I'm here.
Thoughts to think about. What did you think about the Beetlejuice movie?
Shit.
Really?
Yeah.
You've not been very, very happy. I think I sent that to you.
I don't think you did.
Really?
Yeah.
We laugh at dogs getting excited when they hear a bark on TV. This is just referencing everything that's happened in the podcast so far. But if the TV was a non-stop stream of unintelligible noises, and then someone suddenly spoke to you in your native tongue, you'd be pretty fucking startled too. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
So if you were watching telly one night and it was like $2 Whoppers.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't have time to react. Keys would already be in the hand. I don't care how drunk I am. I'm getting that $2 Whopper.
This is why you all should listen to Jake. That was deleted 4 years ago, that comment, so I don't really know how I got a hold of it. Being able to tolerate the sound of your own voice in a video is probably the highest form of self-acceptance. So you've heard it here first.
We've accepted ourselves.
Jake and Marty accepted themselves a long time ago and continue to accept themselves. You heard it from Rods. You didn't hear it from me. If elevators hadn't been invented, all the CEOs and important people would have their offices on the first floor as a sign of status.
Nah. They'd have them on the top floor, and they just have really big legs. This actually reminds me of a story, and I actually quoted Slushy Noobs this week because I went to the gym and I actually ran into an old friend of mine, and he was like, "What are you training?" I was like, "Legs." I said, "What are you training?" And he's like, "Legs." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm just trying to catch up to you." And he was like, No, I'm nowhere near my goal. I was like, "What's your goal?" And he's like, "I'm trying to remove the thigh gap." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. I want that too, but I'm not even the stage you're at. You're at the stage where, like, if a breeze hits it just right, you got that whistle. And he was like, yeah, no, yeah, wind tickles it, I guess.
That whistle, that thigh whistle. During a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. And I say, for like,
hey, Twampy, let's test this out, Twampy.
Twampy, let's test this out. For lack of a better phrase, get me a ticket for that train. It would be cool if after you died, you could see all top 5 times you almost died. What do you reckon your top 5? One of your top 5 would have to be the time you went camping and almost died.
Yeah.
I know we released a podcast where it was You Almost Died Part 2, so probably that one as well.
Oh, I coughed then.
You just coughed.
Yeah, that was literally all it was. I just couldn't think of a name.
You coughed in the bathroom where it says cough for head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of backstory to it, guys, and we're not going to go into it. That sounds even worse now. I didn't get head in a public bathroom. Let's
Me
just say
neither.
that.
Except I was lying. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, so I reckon there's definitely been times where, like, I've almost tripped over really badly. Another time I almost died. I walked out in front of a car today. One time I almost killed someone. Does that make the list?
I feel like I spoke too openly about the time I almost did that.
Yeah, I was getting ready for a punch on today. I'd parked the truck, and there was like right up.
There was this young boy that was walking. No, dead ass. There was this one young boy who was walking across the street, and I swear to God, he had a chip on his shoulder. Like he was balancing that thing.
And I just blew on that thing,
Yeah.
just right. But no, there was a car parked on the opposite side of the road, and it was like a side street, so the road wasn't super big. Anyway, this guy came in a ute, and I was like, oh, okay, he'll fit through there fine. Like, he's not struggling at all. Then he, like, stops right before he comes up to the truck, and he's signaling to me, like, turn, you got to get over more. I'm, like, right up against the curb. I'm right up against the curb. You'll make that. I was like, come on, get through. So he's like, no. So I mount the curb, then I hop out of the truck, and I go, get through. And he goes through. You want to know how much space was on either side of his car? Like a meter either side. And he couldn't get that without an extra half a meter ruler, half a 30 centimeter ruler.
15 centimeters.
15 centimeters. He couldn't do it with an extra 15 centimeters.
What car was he driving?
He's driving the same car I have, so I knew he could make the gap.
Yeah. It's probably an indication of how good of a driver he is.
Yeah, and how good of a driver I am.
Yeah.
I'm just the best driver ever.
Yeah. I need a new car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need, like...
I need these guys to subscribe, donate, so I can buy a Lamborghini, and then I can crash it like that one kid.
Oh, I know him.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
That one kid that crashed his Lambo. Did you see that video?
Should we do a like? Guys, leave a like, because the rent is due. Let's do one of them.
What does that even mean?
Wait, they don't love you like I wait, they don't love you like I love you. Okay, what about this one?
Thank you everyone for listening to this week's Jake and Marty podcast. Hopefully this Frank and Marty can send you
Please
off
like and
a
subscribe.
bit
The
happier
rent
than
is
you've
due.
been throughout listening to this. Go to our Instagram, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really helps out, and hopefully we can pay rent this week. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Checking your purse, I'm giving you air. Your body disagrees, and I don't care at all. I'm wasting my time. Now your eyes roll awake, you're looking at me. You said, darling, what happened? Did I fall asleep? You carry me home, 'cause I know I wasn't here.
I'm closing your blinds, I'm shutting your